The Last Guardian. This PlayStation game that was seemingly lost in development hell forever is finally actually releasing. Developed by the makers of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, this time around you control a little boy who goes on an adventure with a weird bird dog monster thing. The thing with this game though is that you're not just managing an AI creature, this thing actually has its own wants, needs, and desires, and you just kind of have to control it. It's not as easy as it looks, but when you do get the hang of controlling this monster, you're going to be adventuring, solving puzzles, and basically taking on the world together. This game looks like it has a lot of charm, and people have been anticipating it for a very long time for good reason. Look at it. Ratchet and Clank is a reboot reimagining of the classic PlayStation franchise. Unfortunately, this is exclusive to PlayStation 4, but it's worth playing if you have Sony's console. There's so much going on here from a visual and gameplay perspective. All the features of Ratchet and Clank that you've known to love are all combined in this, with jetpacks, weapons, weapon upgrades, rail boots, and the awesome lovable characters and cool animation style, coupled with an awesome new graphical engine. Ratchet and Clank looks like one of the better games on PlayStation. It's a really great time, and if you're a gamer in your 20s, this will definitely bring back some nostalgia feeling. Far Cry Primal. You know, we actually forgot about this game at first when we were making our list, but when we thought about it, we had such a great time with this game. It's another great Far Cry game, but it really deserves props because it changes the formula on its head. Instead of rocket launchers and machine guns, you have spears and bow and arrows and prehistoric animals, and it's awesome. You can capture panthers and ride them. It's awesome, it's fun, it's good for an easy platinum or maxing out achievements, and it's definitely worth checking out. Have Adrift releasing first for PC with VR support. This game obviously looks to be like an insane VR experience, but whether or not you're playing it on VR, it's a story-based style game where you take control of Commander Alex Oshima as he floats around in zero gravity in a spacesuit. There's 5 different areas with puzzles to solve, bits of story and audio logs to listen to and experience, and most importantly, oxygen to manage, because if you run out of oxygen, you die, and you don't want to die, so pay attention when you play this game. If you've ever wanted a game that really gives you the experience of floating around in space and kind of gives you that stress and tension, Adrift might scratch that itch. It looks pretty cool. Pokken Tournament releasing for Wii U. This is that Pokemon tournament fighter Tekken style game that we saw pop up on arcades that everyone's been freaking out about, but now it's finally being released on Wii U. The Wii U version is going to feature online battles featuring ranked and friendly matchmaking, as well as if you buy the retail version of the game, you get a Shadow Mewtwo character amiibo card. Some of you might not even know what that means, but don't worry about it. The Wii U version features some exclusive fighters like Mewtwo, Braixen, Garchomp, and I'm sure the game is going to be updated with a bunch more. So basically, if you've ever wanted a Pokemon fighting game, this is your dream come true. And I guess if you think about it, basically Pokemon is a Pokemon fighting game because Pokemon are always fighting. But whatever, if you've ever wanted to do it in a fighting setting similar to Tekken, now your dream is coming true. I promise. Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a top-down bullet hell kind of shooter that has roguelike elements, and it is a ton of fun. Basically how I describe the game is all you need to know. It takes a top-down twin-stick shooter bullet hell type of game and adds RPG and roguelike elements. And it is addictive and fun and charming, and you're gonna have a great time with it. It's cheap, it's easy to pick up and play, and it's difficult to master, and that's why we think it's worthy. Black Desert Online. This PC MMORPG is absolutely huge and vast, and you can probably tell just by videos of the character creator. This game is immensely deep with a huge world, a bunch of character customization options, and it just looks like a big, meaty MMORPG. This game has been touted as kind of like a next-gen MMO with more advanced systems, graphics, weather systems, and player housing options. And you know, maybe that's just a marketing buzzword, but the game just does seem really big and huge, and that's why we're talking about it. If you've been wanting to sink your teeth into another big, meaty MMORPG for a while now, Black Desert Online might be it. Superhot. Superhot is an amazing and really awesome, unique first-person experience. You've probably never played an FPS game like this. And that's for good reason, because basically in this geometric world, time only moves when you move, so you plot out your moves accordingly, timing your attacks, dodging bullets left and right, and it kind of comes across as a warp time, slow, speed up type of first-person Hotline Miami. It's Twitch-based, you restart a lot, it's trial and error, it's very difficult, but it is a ton of fun. Firewatch, a game that on paper might not seem that interesting as it might just be another walking simulator, but thankfully it has enough unique charm, great voice acting, and characters that players really have kind of really loved this one. It looks gorgeous, it's got a hell of an art style because the entire game looks like concept art, and you basically live out the life of a forest ranger watching for fires in a guard tower. Getting to know him and some other people through the radio is just really great characterization, and it's really interesting. It's a fun playthrough. Maybe not fun in a traditional video game sense, but in terms of experiencing a cool story, it's probably one of the more unique games in that respect from this year. Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Hey, are you sick of Lego games yet? Well, hope not, because The Force Awakens is getting one. This looks like another fun Lego Star Wars game in typical Lego game fashion. You get to play through the events of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and the game is actually apparently going to fill in little story details here and there that weren't quite fleshed out in the movie. So at least for some Star Wars fans, there might be a little something extra for you, besides just another Lego game. There's also going to be a season pass, and I think it's kind of funny and notable that you get to unlock Jar Jar Binks and Mace Windu with the season pass, which is like, you want to pay money for Jar Jar Binks? But then on the other hand, there's also a spin-off quest for Poe Dameron called Poe's Quest that could be a lot of fun, telling a little side story about our favorite new pilot. Let's be real, if you like Star Wars, you're probably going to be checking this out. XCOM 2. XCOM 2 had a bit of a rough launch. It was incredibly buggy and poorly optimized, but now that things are starting to get fixed up, man, this game is great. We loved it back when we did it before you buy for it, and we love it even more now. It takes the graphics up to the next level, but it also improves upon every single element from what made the original XCOM great. The Banner Saga 2 is like a really excellent top-down, turn-based battle game mixed with a little Oregon Trail. Not only do you have those gameplay elements, but you also have an awesome story artfully told through hand-drawn animation. It is definitely a sight to behold, and you'll definitely get your money's worth for the Banner Saga 2. There is a lot of game here. We have Stardew Valley, a game that seemingly came out of nowhere and took Steam and PC gamers by storm, and for good reason. It's basically Harvest Moon with more RPG elements. What more could you want? A Harvest Moon where you go in dungeons and then come back out and manage your farm and do your thing? It's perfect. It is so much fun. I'm sure eventually we're gonna see it on consoles too, so don't forget about this one. But damn, if you haven't played Stardew Valley yet, pick it up. It's pretty cheap and it is a ton of fun. Fast-paced, relentless first-person shooters that we've played in a while. It reeks of polish and passion, and it is just so great. It adapts some things from Quake and some things from Doom and just makes it the perfect old-school nod to PC first-person shooters. It looks amazing, the music is absolutely intense, the gore is visceral, but most importantly, it is challenging and so much damn fun. If you haven't thought about Doom yet, you probably should. Dark Souls 3, seemingly the last From Software game in the Souls series. Damn, it's really good. And if this is the end of the Souls series, at least for the game's creator, damn, he's going out with a bang. Dark Souls 3 is more of what you expect from the other Souls game, a really hardcore, challenging RPG with tons of mystery and things to discover, and that's just what makes it so special. The sense of community and discovery, and not to mention the endorphin rush you get when you finally beat that incredibly challenging boss, makes Dark Souls 3 an experience unlike anything you're probably going to play this year.